Hello captains, it's me Tonic TZW. The update for Halloween is live, and so I'm going to try and get this done in the time I've got to eat my lunch. I'm going to skip lunch, have a cup of tea, talk through the video, have a look at what's in store and what's in this update, because I was busy at the weekend sorting lots of things out. I didn't get a chance to do a review of the patch notes, but first of all, from the home screen, what you're going to want to do straight away is you're going to want to go across to the Bureau and you're going to want to activate the Castilla Bureau project if you haven't got anything to run in the Bureau like I have. So that one is going to be a nice addition to the fleet when it comes around. I'll probably do a separate video on that, looking at all the ships and captains that you are going to need to progress. So if you're interested in getting the Castilla as quickly as possible without spending money, you going to want to make sure that you have got the right ships and the captains at the right levels to progress that project. Now, starting off, I won't go through the whole thing, but I realise that there are some of the Spanish cruisers in here, so I'm going to have to grind that line because it is out of early access and it is now available in the tech tree, which is why I've been stacking credits and global XP up there, so I can boost through, unlock those ships, and then I can start playing them and have a look at them. So we will back out of the Bureau. There are two things here on the home screen. The first thing is going to be the calendar here at the bottom. Right stick to move between the two. So if we open the calendar and have a look, it is 3 weeks long. We've got 3 free unlocks. Looking at the rewards, what have we got? Crates, credits. It looks to be pretty standard. Fall crate and 3 fall crates at the end of it. Let's have a look here. More fall crates. So it looks to be pretty standard fare. Oh, Hell's Flag. We're going to get a flag out of it as well. So let's go for week 3. So not a great deal. Another fall crate. Another fall crate. And a Halloween crate at the end of it. So that's going to run for 3 weeks. You're going to have to tick off the tasks daily to get through those. You've got 3 free unlocks, so if you miss a day, don't worry. And it's probably going to be, I think it's 250 doubloons to unlock any other days after 3 that you miss. So you can, don't forget, put World of Warships Legends on your smartphone or tablet. So if you're going to be away from home or away on holiday, you can jump on mobile and you can do your games in mobile if you link your account. And to be honest, I've done that in the past. I do it in AI and I get it done quickly. Having a look at, sorry, we're going to move right stick. We're going to have a look to the road to New Year. Now, this one, it's going to fire its guns in a second and scare the living daylights out of me. Told you. There's my PTSD triggered. But let's have a look at the ship here. It's going to cost you 20,000 steel parts, I think. Is it steel parts? I don't know what they've called them in this one. But if you click the left stick there, tells you on the bottom bottom right hand side of the screen, you can see the total number of parts that are available throughout the 3 campaign marathon. Okay, you've got 10,000 on this one, 4,000 from your missions, 6,000 from your campaign, 10,000 on the second one, and then 22,500 on the last campaign, so the last leg of the marathon. Now, I have done this previously on my free-to-play account, and what I did is I had enough free doubloons saved to basically open stage 1, play through the campaign, and then I saved my doubloons from my weekly missions all the way through to stage 3, and then I unlocked stage 3 and for admiralty back in to basically make sure that I had enough ship parts. So if you're entirely free to play, you should be able to do that. I'm going to give it a go on my free to play, and hopefully I'll be able to make it. I'm definitely going to unlock stage 1 and pay for admiralty backing on that. I have enough doubloons saved because it is the tier 8 destroyer, the Laffy. I don't know which ships are coming in the next 2 updates. I'm sure somebody out there does know, but I don't, so we'll just have to wait and see. But let's have a look, see if we can view a ship. It's the Lugdunum, and what is it? It's a tier 6 battleship. I don't know much about this ship, I'll be absolutely honest, but seems to have some quite decent armor in places, but that's a rather large superstructure that's ripe for farming with AP, so that's quite a good one. So here we go. A high number of guns allow for lots of damage from a single salvo. So what we got there, 16 guns, decent secondary range, and an above average main battery reload. So it looks to be like a little bit of a brawler, and I do believe we get that ice camo as part of the package for this one. It's something a bit different. Again, wargaming, keeping it fresh. But then again, when everybody's sailing around in the same ship, looking exactly the same, you know, it's like when you buy new trainers and then all your mates buy exactly the same pair of trainers and you end up looking like a boy band. But let's get out of there. The big thing, as always, we'll go and have a look because the Halloween mode has started, and we'll have a look at the missions. Crimson Break, it apparently is a refresh of last year's Halloween mode. There are 4 different levels. I think it's easy, excuse me, easy, normal, hard, and insane. Now I don't know if there are different levels to insane, but basically we'll go and have a look at that. As you play through the game, all your commanders and all your ships will be sort of start at level 1, but as you play through the games you can earn, let's have a look. You see there on the right hand side the gold circle with the, let's call it a ruby in the middle of it. You can earn those coins for free, which will basically allow you to upgrade your commanders. I'll try and do a couple of videos on Crimson Break, maybe even get on a live stream with a couple of guys in Division and play a few games in that and see if we can progress up the different levels. One thing to remember, if it is the same as last time, is the level that you can go into is the level of the lowest player. So if you've done normal, your buddy has done normal, but the third guy in your division hasn't done easy yet, you will get put into easy mode. So that's why it's good to get together with a couple of friends, all do the easy mode together, all do the normal mode, all do the hard, and then work your way up to the insane. So it's going to be interesting to see some fights in that one. But moving up to the missions, we've got a set of Halloween missions here. So easy, normal, hard, and insane. So 3 wins, 3 wins, 3 wins. So 3 wins at any level, 3 wins at normal or higher, 3 wins at nightmare, or sorry, harder or higher. There is a coupon there. I don't know what that coupon's going to give us. I'll have to wait until I've got 6, 7, 8 wins, but we are going to get a free Halloween crate there. Path of the Stormbreaker. So that is an easy, normal, hard, and any mode to get you a patch symbol. So that's got to be done in the Battleship Ice Forged within the Halloween mode. Then Demonic Firepower, I imagine this is going to be the cruiser. Yep, Blazing Dread, beautiful cruiser. I don't have it on this account. I do have it on my free to play, and I do play it as one of my weekly tier 7 premiums. Right, sorry, had to clear my throat there. I need a cup of tea. And then Grove Whisperer, that is the destroyer in the Halloween mode. And for that, we're going to get another symbol. So I think the other one was, so a symbol, symbol, and is it symbol again? Symbol. So 3 patch symbols, and not a lot else from that. Some camos and things. Moving on, bog standard weekly havoc. You know, we've got the campaign to play through. That is as it always is. Don't forget that on many of these you do have a secondary option to play, and this can be done in the Halloween mode, and I believe the pumpkin faces show different, or they used to show different levels on whether you could do it on easy, medium, hard or insane. But that looks like it could be done in any mode. It might just have to be Halloween mode, so you can potentially just play Halloween mode this entire update and tick off all your weekly havoc. That would be good, wouldn't it? We'll have to have a look and see if that's how it works. And heroic effort, this is based on your base XP score in a game. Obviously, it gives you some extra stages to your campaign progression, meaning that you can generally, if you have a few good games, I had a couple of 3200 games this week. Didn't quite get to a 3500, but never mind. But that's going to give you some extra campaign progression, and as long as you play decently and get, let's say, up to, well, if you take a 3200 game, you can generally get the campaign done a week earlier and then start earning some steel. Assignments wise, Wargaming have extended the Spanish Navy heritage missions through this campaign, because unless you were lucky enough to get ships of the different tiers out of the crates, then you weren't going to be able to complete this one and complete the card collection. So Wargaming have extended this one throughout the duration of this campaign. That's going to give you the opportunity to grind up the Spanish chain and get your cards. And sorry, let me have a look at my card collections here. Sorry, not my socials. Card collections. So I need 4 cards to finish my collection. Now, if I was unlucky and got duplicates for every single one, you know, I'd have to get 8 crates, but I'm hoping that that isn't the case. So let's have a look at that missions again, see how many we'd have to do. Spanish Navy Heritage, we'd have to get 10 to text with the Galicia, and then 3. So I'd have to get up to the tier 6 ship, earn the crates from those, and at most, and that would allow me to finish my card collection. If you get really unlucky, you're going to have to grind the whole chain. Don't ever spend money on early access crates, guys. Road to New Year. What's this one? So this is for some additional ship parts. Tier 3, Tier 4 in pretty much any game mode. Well, AI, standard, or what's the word I'm looking for? Arcade. So tier 3, tier 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then legendary. And that will pull you 3.5, 4,000 ship parts towards the marathon. So that's not too shabby, really. And then obviously we're back on to the normal trials of weekly assignments, which is just play the game and progress. Don't chase your missions, just play the game, play for the win, and all of this will come to you in the end. Premium supplies is always a fun one. Honestly, if your captains aren't leveled up, just do it in AI. Save your teams the pain. But the bit that we're all interested in, and I've got to stop for a moment just to take a sip of my tea, so excuse me a second. The bit that we're all interested in, the bit that is going to pay Wargaming's electricity bill for their servers, is obviously what is in store. It was interesting to see this Haunted Waters in here, because £7.39, it is going to get you 2,500 doubloons, it is going to get you 2 Halloween crates, and it is going to get you 2 full big crates. So if you haven't got the doubloons, Let's go to doubloons. £7.39 there. You would get your 2,500 doubloons plus an extra 250. But, you know, you want to roll the dice. Spend your £7.39 on the Haunted Waters. You'll have the doubloons for your Admiralty back in. Plus you get a couple of crates, and who knows, you might get lucky. That is generally the 2,500 doubloons is my spend for the month, basically, for the campaign. If I've got money to spare, I might pick up a little bit extra. But if not, that's an easy way to guarantee yourself 2,500 doubloons plus a couple of crates. I don't want to say that Wargaming fixed the algorithm for crate drops, but I would dare to say that newer players are more likely to drop stuff out of crates. So if you're a newer player, I would buy that and hope that you would get lucky. And then we get into the ridiculous money part of the store, Shadow Squadron here. So this is a featured 50,000 doubloons. Don't believe that discount, because to me, something has to be sold at the full price for a certain length of time to then have a discount applied to it. I think what they're doing here is they're applying a discount based on what the full price of the ships would be to buy separately. Now, looking down here, we have basically got all of the ships that have come, I want to say, from previous Halloween updates. As I said, I don't have the Blazing Dread, I don't have the Scharnhorst, but I'm not going to spend 50,000 doubloons on this because that's an outrageous amount of money, especially when all I would get in return for the other ones is in-game credits, which I can earn for free. Halloween crew, 9 commanders there. You can see that I've got a lot of them. Again, the majority of these I've gotten for free, or in my early days of playing the game, I may have bought some crates. If I was going to say that there is a commander, or there are some commanders worth having, for me as a destroyer player, German destroyer commander Blue Fiora. She's great. She has a torpedo reload reduction time, and she has an additional perk called Mosquito Brutes, which greatly reduces your torpedo reload time, but also reduces the torpedo damage by 40%. Japanese destroyers. I know a few people like playing this guy. It is a complete torpedo build Japanese destroyer player. And if you like your American gunboats, Vincent Mordoff, he's one that I use on my American gunboats. And yeah, he's quite handy. And Splendido is, I think he's the Russian destroyer commander. I don't think I've got him leveled like massively. I don't really play Russian destroyers a lot apart from my Khabarovsk. But if I had 5,000 doubloons to spend only and wanted a commander, I would be taking either Ferrora or Mordoff or Saro, depending on which nation is your favourite for destroyer play. I couldn't comment on many of the others because I either don't have them or I don't use them a lot. Henry Hyde, I do have him on some of my German battleships. He gives you, I think it is a 5%, perhaps a little bit higher, increase in your hit points on your ship. So if you tie him in with somebody like William Sims, who's going to give you, I think it's 400 hit points per tier, you know, you can really bump up your hit points on your ship. Gives you a lot of survivability. But obviously, if you're speccing into one kind of thing, like hit points, you are potentially giving up things like accuracy, dispersion, things like that, or reload and turret traverse. Everything's a trade. So where people are saying that, you know, you've got to buy premium commanders to be competitive, you don't. I've proved that on my free-to-play account. You can have just as good games on free-to-play as you can with premiums. There are some benefits, but is it worth spending so much money on? Not always, but perhaps on occasion. I wouldn't throw any money away at these. Let's have a look. Halloween. So we've got the Shadow Squadron there, 5 ships that we've already looked at. There is a triple threat here. 15,000 doubloons for 3 premium ships. Nicholas I played the other day, the McCoyan I don't rate at all, and the Queen Mary. Yeah, haven't played a lot, but that's 3 tier 4 ships for 15,000 doubloons, 5,000 doubloons each. Is it a good deal? It's not a bad deal, but again, it's spending money if you've got it. Crates, this is where Wargaming make their money. Again, a discount that isn't a discount, and to be honest, I wouldn't spend a huge amount of money on crates. But, you know, we might do 5. We might do 5 and see how lucky we get. But I'm just going to open a window to have a look at the crate contents here. You won't actually be able to see it on the screen, I don't think. But let's go and have a look at the Halloween 25 crate contents. So you've got a 12% chance at, let's count the zeros here, 12% chance at 1.5 million credits. You've got a 10% chance of, that's not bad, 100,000 Commander XP, 10% chance of 25,000 Global XP, the one that we all hate to get, 10% chance at 8 promotion orders, 5% chance at 15 Rusty Buckets, Halloween 21, Type 3 Halloween or Halloween 24 camos, a 5% chance at 16 promotion orders. Then you've got a 5% chance at skins for, and it's a long list, bear with me, Charles Hughes, Charlemagne, Z23, Ognavoy, Benham, Shikaku, Bismarck, Tirpitz, Lexington, Kagero, Chapayev, Charles Martel, Benson, Iowa, Hippe, Xianyang, Furious Ark Royal, Benson, Bismarck, Shikaku, Charles Martel, Megami, Iowa, Hippe, Charmer W, for Iowa, Hippe, Xianyang again, Z23 again, Kansas, and Montana. So there's a lot of skins there. There's, in some cases there's more than one skin for some ships. And yeah, I guarantee people are going to be getting a lot of skins / camos on these. Next, you've got a 5% chance at a Halloween Commander, guys. Tony West River, Joanna Jew, Daniel Brassfender, Mary East River, Derek Jew, then Danielle Brassfender, Bjorn Stormbreaker, Amon Citri, can't pronounce that one, Nierdanel Nadar, or Vasila Rasputina. Then you've got a 5% chance at Halloween Commanders, Helsinger Einstein, Hyde Moidoff, Splendido, Furora, Teslau, Lightful, and Sano. Then you've got a 4% chance at the premium ships Nicholas, McCoyan, or Queen Mary. A 4% chance at a single commendation. A 3% chance at Tier 5 premiums Rasputin or Perth, and I do believe the Rasputin has had a buff. I think that was, I can't remember if it was in the patch notes or later that they released an article about balance changes, and I think the Rasputin has had a buff. 2% chance at getting the Tier 6 Premium Leviathan, which is basically in North Carolina. 2% chance at 1 insignia. Then you've got a 1% chance at the Tier 7 Premiums, Blazing Dread or Scharnhorst 43. A 1% chance at 2 insignia, and a 4% chance at 2 commendations. And then there are some notes on the bottom. If you already own a ship, skin, or commander, guys, that can drop from this container, that item will be removed from the possible drops, so you're not going to get duplicates. Well, not until, if you receive a commander, you will always get a new one until you have all commanders available in this container. Once you have obtained all these commanders, you will receive personal commendations for random duplicate commanders from this container. So basically, if you were getting commanders, you would drop unique commanders up until you had them all. Then you would be able to drop duplicates. And all the skins slash camos for the ships are grade 4. So that's maximum level. You won't have to waste any paint on upgrading those. So then we've got a pack, 30,000 doubloons for 9 commanders. We already looked at that one earlier. We've got 10 geysers. Ridiculous. As you can see from that, I don't waste money on geysers. Yes, they do give you a bit of a bonus, but when you consider how much it costs you for a guise, is it going to be worth spending all that money? I can see that I've got a coupon there. Let me have a look at that. I've got a coupon. Oh, Prince of Prussia, yeah. We're not going to use that one. That's for the German stuff from the last update. Blazing Dread, lovely cruiser. Have it on my free-to-play account. I'm not going to spend 17,500 doubloons on it. I haven't got 17,500 doubloons to spend because not enough of you are members of the channel and helping to support it with a little bit of loose change from down the back of the sofa. Do consider taking out a membership, guys. It helps make all the effort I put into this worthwhile. Tier 7 Scharnhorst, that's obviously to go with the Scharnhorst and the Scharnhorst B. And is there a Scharnhorst W as well? I can't remember. But yeah, so that's the third, at least the third Scharnhorst in this game. Leviathan there is, what did I say it was? That's basically in North Carolina. I've had some fun in that ship. Rasputin, Perth, Nicholas, McCoyan, Queen Mary. So you can go and buy the ships individually there. What I will say is if you have a preference for a class or type of ship that you're going to play, rather than gamble on crates, go and buy the ship that you want. Again, only if you have the money to go and buy the ship that you want. What I hate seeing in the Facebook groups is people going and dropping like 25,000 doubloons on crates, not getting anything decent from it, and then turning round and saying, and so I went and bought the ship anyway, because that is just wargaming shaking you down for some money. If you want a ship, spend on the ship, because it's probably going to be cheaper than gambling on a crap ton of crates to hope that you're going to get the ship that you want, not getting it, and then having to dig even deeper into your pockets to get some more doubloons to get the ship that you actually wanted in the first place. Camos, honestly, guys, never spend real money on camos. It's not worth it. It's not worth it at all. Haunted Command, you can go and buy your individual commanders. I've already given you a little bit of an oversight of what I think is best based on what I play. That is Ferrora for German destroyers. We've got Sano for Japanese destroyers. But if you've got Space Fishy, do you really need them? And Mordov, who's basically a gunboat commander for American destroyers. And then we've got all of the geysers again, although some of these, in fact, what I'm going to say is just check and make sure that the guys that you're picking has got a bonus attached to it, because some of the early geysers that they had in this game, I don't know if all of these are going to have one. Looks like they've put bonuses on all of the geysers here, which is nice to see. But again, spending 3,750 doubloons to get a credit boost on one game a day, is it worth the money? Up to you, for you to decide. And then again, this is putting lipstick on a pig. All it is painting a ship slightly different to what it is. It doesn't change the performance of your ship. It doesn't make anybody think you're cool. Although if you like looking at your ship looking a little bit different to everybody else's, yeah, that'll be me as well then, because I tend to put Black Shadow, the Black Friday camo, Shadow camo, on a lot of my destroyers just to make them that little bit more menacing. But I'm not a big one for fancy camos. If I get one for free, I might use it. I don't need to buy any of these. Certainly not for 5,000 doubloons a time. But if you're one of those people with lots of money and you like to collect things, then go ahead. Do it. Do it if you want. I can't tell you how to spend your money. I'm just here to give advice. And I think that goes for it. Is there anything in the ships? There's not a lot there. We haven't looked through ships the other day. But that is about it for this update and what's in store. I hope to be online either Monday evening or Tuesday evening, depending on how work goes and what I need to do around the house. But what I will say, guys, is get in there, enjoy your games, make some friends, mic up, and say hello at the start of a match. You never know, you might make a new friend, join up together, form a division, and form an everlasting friendship that's going to last you for the next 25 years of your life, which is probably longer than this game's going to last. But on that note, thanks for tuning in. I hope it's been informative. If you've got any questions, leave them down in the comments and I will do my best to respond to them. But please do understand that I do work full time. I'm trying to cram this in on my lunch break, which means I'm going to starve till dinner time. I'll have to keep myself going with chocolate biscuits. But yeah, if you've got questions, leave them in the comments. And if you've got friends that haven't found my channel before, please do point them in my direction. Ask them to drop me a sub because we've got to push for the target of 2,000 subscribers. That's the next big milestone that I think we're going to have to aim for. So I leave it there. As always, until next time, take care of yourselves and goodbye.